Hi, everybody. Welcome to Se Vuelve Podcast. And if you notice, my little intro is different. The reason being is that actually, for this week, there's two episodes that release. And if you're kind of looking at the title, you can kind of see this is a special episode. When this episode releases, it's the 1 year anniversary of Se Vuelve Podcast. I'm really excited to be here, kind of celebrating this milestone. Kind of talked about kind of like my plans for this quote unquote it's like an unofficial season 2 slash a continuation because episode 25 airing in 2025. I think I kind of mentioned that in the last episode of last year, so I just kind of wanted to jump on here. I guess kind of first start with saying thank you to anyone who tunes in to listen. Always, I'm so grateful. You guys don't even know how grateful I am. And especially to my friends who stay loyal and listen to the podcasts. Just having them for support, but also the fact that they tune in to listen to what sometimes when it's my solo episodes, right, feels like a ramble. I'm just so grateful. When it comes to my podcast, right? I really truly want to be sharing stories. I share these moments that feel vulnerable, that are personal, and a lot of the times, I always get emotional. It always gets very emotional for me. And I guess it's because, the hardships of trying to launch the podcast, or the many years that it has taken to launch the podcast. And obviously, even with this new season or this continuation in 2025, in the last episode, the one the day before, I mentioned how my plan was to start back up in the spring. That really was my goal. I was like, okay, spring, you're like, brand new fresh start, right? The leaves start coming out, all this, and it didn't happen. But one of the things that is a constant reminder for myself is that there's always a time and a place. I was reminded this weekend from a conversation about letting go of those perfectionist tendencies. And I remember that being a big mission for me last year because I want things to go well, right? Once again, the conversation that I had this weekend is that if we hold on so tightly to wanting our art to be a certain way, it would never come out. And that's just kind of an ongoing theme that I've kind of been hearing within the last couple of like weeks. We're just here on the 1 year, kind of acknowledging where we are today and hopefully where we're going, right? I don't know if I mentioned this in the last episode, but by the time I was finally able to sit down and really take a look at realistically when can I start this off, because I was working these long-term assignments at the school from January till early June. And then I had to take a little bit of a break because I was going, and I really needed to take that pause and to just realign with myself. When I looked at the calendar and I was like, okay, why don't we start back up around the time that the first episode came out, right? I had seen, and I was like, okay, that's 24 episodes till the end of the year. And then I saw that the Friday was the anniversary. I was like, oh, I should do 25 episodes for 2025. So this time around, that's the goal, that's the mission. It's 25 episodes for 2025. And I'm really, really excited because I set out to do another goal as well. That while maybe these little solo episodes are lovely, right? They're a moment of reflections and sometimes ramblings and fun stuff. My goal is to talk with people and share these conversations, share these stories to y'all, because there's nothing more beautiful than to listen to others, their wins, their struggles, everything, right? So that's one of my little goals that I have for kind of this season, this official season, right? And I'm really excited. Taking a look at kind of like the calendar. Obviously, there's still things that are like flowing in, flowing out, but I'm really, really excited to share those conversations. I have some people lined up that I think it's gonna be some really great episodes. It's gonna be a great moment to reconnect with some of these individuals that maybe for some of them I haven't spoken to them in a while, or haven't seen them in a while. So that should be fun. And while on the topic of kind of, sharing stories or sharing truths, I guess I want to kind of like make a stance or say something, because it wouldn't be right. It doesn't feel right to kind of glaze over this topic or not say anything. And while some people might not agree, it's like it's how I'm feeling and how my life has changed. I didn't think that I would be getting political, as I kind of said this to someone: by not saying anything, your silence is complacency. And I will not be silent. I want to say, free all oppressed people, that immigrants are important and are amazing to this country. And what is currently happening in our country, while it doesn't necessarily affect some individuals, it does impact a great majority of individuals. It's hard for me to talk about this because I wanted to have this, I guess, this conversation, and maybe I will with my friends, right, in a future episode. But I wanted to make sure that this was said, because it's an important cause for me. Within the last 2 weeks, I've had this conversation with a friend, how important it is for me now, while there are people out there going out and protesting these atrocities, these disgusting policies. The least I can do is, one, use my voice to share this information, but also another thing that I can do is choose where my money goes, where my hard-earned money goes, because that's what's important to me. I also had to talk about the company culture. I talked about how your company should look how the world looks, right? This is just a moment of truth, a moment of vulnerability, a moment of acknowledgement, because there's people out there facing hardships and losing family members. I'm constantly thinking of the media and what is being shared or not shared, because obviously there's a censorship, there's a lack of facts or truth being released in the media sometimes. So if I can take this moment to just speak on this for a little bit, that's important. If you can't, for whatever reason, you can't physically go and protest, the least you can do is, share content, right? Like, share voice or content. For me, it's like resharing, because, not gonna lie, guys, I'm a little camera shy. This is why my solo episodes are usually of me, just my voice and off camera, right? But if I can reshare content and think about where I spend my money, that's a way to protest, right? With your money, with your voice. It's a heavy topic, but on my socials, I like to share these quotes, and a lot of the ones that I've been sharing this last week actually, have talked about not making myself be small, right? To take up space. And that's what I'm doing. I'm taking up space. I'm using my Latina voice to share these things. And I can't, once again, I know there's some people that might say, I don't talk about no, it's we're at a point. Silence is complacency. If you want change, we have to make change. And like I said, it's a heavy topic, and I might not be the most diverse or the most educated in this topic, but I know what's right. I stand for humanity, regardless of your status. As I told somebody this last weekend, and my friend, I was like, I have to truly, and I'm investing my money, my time and energy into companies that give a shit about us. And that's what's important. It's the people, it's humanity. That's what's important. Wanted to make sure that I mentioned this because, and especially early on because of everything that's been going on. And I didn't want to, wait so many episodes afterwards to speak about this. So I just wanted to take that moment to share this, to use my Latina voice to advocate for these individuals. Yeah, and I just keep seeing a TikTok where it's like, in case you don't know where I stand, free all oppressed people, free this, free that. Exactly. And fuck. Sorry, I'm swearing. I don't think I've ever done this whole episode where I've really sworn like that. But fuck this person and that person and that person. Thank you for allowing me the space to share this message. I know probably some of you weren't expecting it, so thank you. As always, I just want to say thank you to anyone who tunes in to listen. I would appreciate it if you could leave a review and would be grateful if you could let me know what information resonated with you. Please follow and share on social media. The pages are at Se Vuelve Podcast or my personals at Se Vuelve Monica. Once again, thank you so much for listening. Nos vemos pronto. Talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.